So what's up, guys? So Nora Barrows-Friedman from the Electronic Intifada and Mateo Omar Capasso ran cover for Zionist China. Let's take a listen.
It reproduces itself. It calls for an expansion of that elite group. Let's bring a Muslim in. Let's bring a woman in. Let's bring a bald guy in. Whatever. So basically, by doing so, you're trying to show that you can actually add and expand that circle of privileges, but you make sure at the same time that none of these elements you are bringing in, they want to expand that circle even more. And this is why there is an historical relevance of socialism in this moment, communism, and the anti-colonial struggles, which have always pushed for a different type of spiritual, ideological, and material struggles. And the axis of resistance is part of this. But the West is too liberal to understand that.
Mm-hmm. For now. That's Mateo Omar Capasso. Mateo, I wanted to get your reaction to this video of the Chinese ambassador to the UN during these hearings at the International Court of Justice in The Hague. All right, so this was February 22nd, Thursday, and this is China's representative addressing the ICJ on the consequences of Israeli occupation. That's what the Chiron from Al Jazeera says.
The UNGA resolution 3070 of 1973, I quote, reaffirms the legitimacy of the people's struggle for liberation from colonial and foreign domination and alien subjugation by all available means, including armed struggle, end of quote. This recognition is also reflected in international convention. For example, the Arab Convention for Suppressing of Terrorism of 1998 affirms, I quote, the right of peoples to combat foreign occupation, aggression by whatever means, including armed struggle, in order to liberate their territories and secure the right to self-determination and independence. End of quote.
So, and China has had some good efforts at diplomatic, but they're still kind of beholden to this two-state kind of framework.
They're more than beholden to the two-state framework. Check it out. China is the second largest trading partner of the Zionist entity. So over the past 2 decades, trade of goods and services between China and the Zionist entity has increased significantly. China presently stands as the Zionist entity's second largest trading partner, with the total trade value reaching 24.45 billion United States dollars, marking an 11.6% increase in 2022 compared to the previous year. And it's mostly goods going to the Zionist entity from Zionist China, right? So, check it out. So notably, the substantial rise primarily stemmed from imports from China, which escalated from $6.79 billion US dollars in 2019 to $13.12 billion US dollars in 2022, signifying a substantial 6.33 increase. And this is from China Briefing from Dezan Shira and Associates. Okay. China literally is the second largest trade partner of the Zionist entity after the United States. China is literally USA 2.0. Xi Jinping and his associates got in a room and say, shit, we're going to be as evil, as cunning, as wicked, as manipulative as the United States. Oh, what should we do? Let's go enable a genocide. Literally, Xi Jinping, he was literally buddies with Henry Kissinger. This is who China really is. China's a Zionist collaborator.
But that statement right there, to have a major world power that is consistently demonized by the West because of its...
Well, China should be demonized by Arab countries for their Zionist normalization. Why aren't you noting that, Nora Friedman?
Economic strength and power over the West, to reaffirm Palestinians' right to armed self-defense. What is the significance of that? What does it tell us about where the rest of the world, so demonized by the West, is looking at Palestine?
Exactly. This is, I think, this is the core issue here, what we're saying. People understand that what's happening in Palestine is outrageous, is unprecedented, and it's a crime. But it's not the West that is responding.
And it's sure as heck not China either, man. Check it out. China presently stands as the Zionist entity's second largest trading partner, with a total trade value reaching $24.45 billion US dollars, marking an 11.6% increase in 2022 compared to the previous year. Right? And notably, this substantial rise primarily stemmed from imports from China, which escalated from $6.79 billion US dollars in 2019 to $13.12 billion US dollars in 2022, signifying a substantial $6.33 billion US dollar increase, right? This is literally from China. This is literally what China... So, in 2017, China and the Zionist entity announced they would usher in a new phase of their relationship. China's Zionist entity ties have witnessed collaboration in several areas, from the Belt and Road Initiative to technology and innovation exchanges. China is no different than the United States. China is just as guilty of the United States. But this guy, he's a dick rider for China. He's a dick. And Nora Friedman, to a certain extent, is a dick rider for China. Right? She is a stan for China. She's a little fangirl for China. Now, she did talk about how they were so wedded to the Zionist two-state solution, but she is still a little fangirl for China. This guy is a total dick rider for China. He's an academic at Columbia University, right? That's the difference between me and him. I dropped out of college. I never finished college. I almost dropped out of high school. And again, I'm more rooted in the working class. This guy's rooted in academia. Big difference, right?
To this call for change, for a call to stop these crimes. It's actually the West that is perpetrating them. But at the same time, there are states of the South. There are different social and political formations from the South that are emerging.
China's not from the South, dude. What latitude is China? China's like what? I want to say China's like 37, 38 degrees latitude. That's not the South. Look at Google Earth.
And they are calling for a different world order. One that is, where everybody sits at the table in an
It's Palestine and Yemen that's calling for that, not China.
Equitable manner and in mutually prosperous way. Now, what the Chinese representative said today, it's actually, yes, it is inscribed in the United Nations, the resolution in the General Assembly. And as all the violations of Israel are inscribed, not even in UN General Assembly resolution, but in UN Security Council resolution. But they've never been taken up. They've never been enforced. So the tools for an equitable world order do exist in a way. That is what China is reminding us. But what China...
And China is also normalizing the Zionist entity. Look at the Belt and Road, right? In 2017, the Zionist entity in China, they announced they would usher in a new phase of their relationship. China's Zionist entity ties have witnessed collaboration in several areas from the Belt and Road Initiative to technology to innovation exchanges. You know, and then over the past 2 decades, trades of goods and services between China and the Zionist entity have increased significantly. China presently stands as the Zionist entity's second largest trading partner, with the total trade value reaching $24.45 billion US dollars, making an 11.6% increase in 2022 compared to the previous year. Notably, this substantial rise primarily stemmed from imports from China, which escalated $6.79 billion US dollars in 2019 to $13.12 billion US dollars in 2022, signifying a substantial 6.33 billion US dollar increase. This is from China Briefing from Dezan Deshira and Associates, right?
China is reminding us as well is that the south of the world understands this genocidal...
China, first of all, China is not the South. China is not anti-imperialist. BRICS is actually a new imperialist bloc, right? And then China normalizes the Zionist entity from the Belt and Road. And even starting in 1992, that's when China first normalized the Zionist entity. So starting in 1992, China first normalized the Zionist entity. Nowadays, China is the second largest trading partner of the Zionist entity. And this is mostly from imports going from China to occupied 1948 Palestine. Again, what's his face? Mateo Omar Capasso is being a little dick rider for China. He's a dick rider.
Killing this appetite for militarism and wars and violence that the West is showing. And they understand also.
This is why you don't invite academics and college professors on your show. The only professors you should invite on your show are jiu-jitsu professors. College professors, well, they don't do jack shit. They don't know jack shit, right? They're dick riders for China, right? Kind of like Mateo Omar Capasso.
That what is happening in Palestine is a colonial struggle. And this is where, we go back to the liberal condemnation that went,